Sawasdee ka. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and also on NBT World. It's a Thursday, and the date is April 21st, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha held a meeting with state enterprises to discuss their operational progress and solutions to problems. Following the Prime Minister's meeting with the State Enterprise Policy Office, President of Thai Airways International Jarampon Chotikasatian made known that the Premier was briefed on the company's progress in line with its reform and rehabilitation plan. He reported that the national flag carrier made 48.8 billion baht in the first quarter this year, missing its target by only 1%, whereas spending was cut by 13%, or about 1 billion baht. Meanwhile, the State Enterprise Policy Office meeting also acknowledged the sharing of basic telecommunications infrastructure between TOT and CAT Telecom, as well as an amendment by the Bangkok Mass Transit Authority for natural gas and electric bus procurement plans. In addition, the State Railway of Thailand informed the meeting of its transfer of land in the Makassan area to the authority of the Ministry of Finance and the handover of the airport rail link system to the private sector. The Small and Medium Enterprise Development Bank was also assigned to limit its non-performing loans to no more than 18 billion baht, but to issue a total of 35 billion bahts worth of loans to SMEs by the end of this year. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has expressed concerns over summer storms now hitting many northern and northeastern provinces. Government spokesman Sansan Gaukamnod said the Prime Minister has instructed all relevant units to urgently assist people in the provinces affected by summer storms and strong rainstorms during this period. The spokesman added that the Premier advised all sectors to store as much water as possible for both domestic consumption and agriculture use after heavy rainfall in several provinces. The Prime Minister has also announced that the Thai government has dispatched assistance funds to Japan and Ecuador after earthquakes, that is, struck both countries, causing severe damage. General Prayut revealed that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has provided preliminary assistance in the form of $100,000 to each nation as part of Thailand's policy to lend assistance to other countries in times of crisis. The Prime Minister affirmed Thailand's readiness to provide assistance in all respects, although the two countries have yet to make any specific requests for aid. The Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, will send experts to Thailand to give advice on the improvement of Thai civil aviation standards in line with the standards set by the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO. Transport Minister Akom Tanpitiapaisit said the Thai Department of Civil Aviation collaborated with JICA to improve the aviation safety regulations. They will work together for 2 years and 5 months from April 2016 to September 2018. JICA consultancy will focus on the improvement of safety standards for airworthiness and mandatory safety reporting. Thailand hopes that its aviation industry will be accepted by the international community and that it will better conform to the internationally recognized standards of the ICAO. The minister said that Thailand's solutions to its aviation problems have been proceeding as planned. He expressed confidence that a satisfactory report on Thailand's progress will be submitted to ICAO in early 2017. The Ministry of Science and Technology has opened the Food and Feed Innovation Center using nanotechnology to create value-added exports to enhance the industry's competitiveness. Science and Technology Minister Piche Durongkawerot chaired the opening ceremony of the center at the Thailand Science Park in Pathum Thani province. He revealed that the country is the 14th largest exporter of food. However, he said there is fierce competition and changes in consumer demands, so Thailand must mobilize its food industry by incorporating innovations and technologies that create value-added exports. The National Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology has therefore established the Food and Feed Innovation Center to conduct research on food products that can be incorporated in mass production. The center can be reached at the number 02-564-6700 at extensions 3324 and 3330. The Ministry of Commerce is seeking to boost the capabilities of e-commerce businesses in the nation by reducing the cost of logistics. The Department of International Trade Promotion, or DITP, has initiated the 7th round of a program titled Enhancing Efficiency, Reducing Costs of Logistics, which is to select 30 exporters, service providers, and logistics companies to undergo training from April to September. Previous rounds of the training program have helped a combined 177 businesses bring down logistics costs by a total of 1 billion baht. DITP Deputy Director General Jantira Yimrewat Wiwatrat pointed out that over 1 million new logistics and export businesses have sprung up in Thailand due to the growing trend of e-commerce businesses. She urged logistics providers to reduce their expenses to remain competitive in their industry and respond to the needs of their clients. Ms. Jantira explained that Thailand's exporters are currently held back by its relatively high cost of logistics, and reducing these costs would add to the nation's competitiveness in e-commerce. Minister attached to the Office of the Prime Minister, Momluang Banata Disakun, has requested the Public Relations Department, or PRD, to publicize a symbol created to mark the 70th anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne. Momluang Banata recently called a meeting of the agencies under his office, which include the Office of the Permanent Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office, the Office of the Consumer Protection Board, and the PRD to follow up on their work. He instructed the offices to display and publicize the symbol created to honor the 70th anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne. The PRD has been asked to develop advertisements to promote the symbol to the public. PRD Director General Apinanjan Tharangsi also updated the minister on his department's work, such as the PRD to be #1 project and the Smart Farmer Booklet project, which was commissioned by the Prime Minister. The Director General of the Probation Department has reported that during the Songkran Festival, 5,600 individuals were sentenced to community service, a 30% rise from the same period last year. Director General Police General Narat Sawetanan revealed that the 5,600 cases consist of over 5,200 drunk driving violations, 400 miscellaneous cases, and 24 cases of reckless driving. The number is an increase from last year by nearly 1,200, or 30%. For cases of drunk driving that did not result in a traffic accident, the court will sentence violators to 20 hours of community service and will have to report themselves to their probation officer 4 times a year. According to new laws, probation officers have been given more autonomy in prescribing community service work, which also includes assisting in hospital mortuaries. Police General Narat affirmed that community service in the morgue does not constitute a violation of human rights, but serves as a firm punishment. The Director General also revealed that repeat offenders accounted for about 5% of all cases this year. He said these individuals will be given harsher punishments at the discretion of the courts. And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Up next in our ASEAN News segment, Thai delegates went on a tour of Seoul in the ASEAN Next Generation Leaders Visit Korea trip. But first, here's a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
Hey there, Michael here in wonderful Thailand. To ask, given all the latest news, what do you think you know about Thailand? Looks like it's still business as usual, chilling out. Maybe grab some of the local food and check out the Thai scene. Perhaps partying a little bit with friends.
ASEAN Economic Community. Having the same hopes and mutual intentions to create sustainable growth and permanent economic progress within the framework of the ASEAN Comprehensive Investment Agreement. The ACIA exists to facilitate trade and commerce between member nations, as well as to improve quality of people's lives. One vision, one identity, one community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Thai representatives to the ASEAN Next Generation Leaders Visit Korea trip have reported a warm welcome by the South Korean government, which is seeking greater cooperation with the ASEAN region. The Thai delegation has been taken on a tour of South Korea's capital, Seoul, as well as Jeju Island. In the capital, the delegates visited the ASEAN South Korea Center, which was opened by the South Korean government in March of 2009 to foster ties with the regional bloc. The center is handling events this year, such as the 4th ASEAN Connectivity Forum, which will connect international financial organizations with the governments of ASEAN. The future goals of the center are to enhance South Korea's capabilities as a partner to ASEAN. The ASEAN Next Generation Leaders Visit Korea trip will end on Saturday, April 23rd. The Ministry of Culture kicked off an activity to pay homage to the 9 kings of the Chakri dynasty at 9 temples. The merit-making activity is being held from today until April 24th. Assistant to the Minister of Culture, Chawirat Gaset Sunthorn, chaired a religious ceremony to inaugurate the activity, which is part of the Ratanakosin Island, 234 years under the grace of their majesties, and ASEAN Culture Fair events taking place at Sanam Luang. The activity, in which members of the public are invited to pay respects to 9 temples around Ratanakosin Island, is to honor the 9 monarchs of the Chakrai dynasty and mark the founding of Ratanakosin 234 years ago. As part of the activity, 10 public buses have been dispatched to provide free transport for citizens who want to take part in the event. They will be available until April 24th. The Bangkok International Gift Fair and Bangkok International Houseware Fair 2016 has kicked off at Bitek and will be held until April 23rd. Let's take a closer look at this special event with our correspondent Kun Sutichad Den Pritham.
The B&B 2016 is now officially open. The twin exhibitions of the Bangkok International Gift Fair 2016 and the Bangkok International House Fair 2016 are an effort of the Department of International Trade Promotion, Ministry of Commerce, to allow Thailand lifestyle products and local businesses to present the creation to the ever-expanding market within Thailand as well as other ASEAN members.
I think this year we try to come up with a new concept every time, and especially niche market. That's where we would have a competitive. And we have existing niche market that we have displayed before, but we also come up with a new concept every time. So we have, for example, very new, that the first time ever at this fair and anywhere is the children's concept. We call the theme is the little ones. So Thailand have been making a lot of children's products and clothing and furniture, toys, and household things for children. So this time we have a concept, this little one.
The fair this year contained 418 manufacturers from Thailand as well as other countries such as Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos and Cambodia. The fair features a grand display in 1,200 stand booths, which expect to attract more than 50,000 around the globe, with at least 1.6 billion baht in revenue generation. The fair this year highlights many of the innovative experimental design products, with prominent innovation from design award programs such as the DMARC 2016, and new fashion markets in line with the taste of Asian consumers and local creations, which offer not only stylish and practical products, but also generate the much-needed revenue for the farming community in Thailand.
The event this year was great, and especially for our organization is that we're here for this event to represent people, represents the local, and like I said, all products, it's just the products that local people that made. So this is kind of like the event that we carry out their work to people, so people would know their skill and their handicraft.
The B&B 2016 will be held from 19th to 23rd of April 2016. Both businesses and private visitors are welcome to the main site event at the Bitek, Bang Na. Sutisha Den Pritham reporting for NBT World.
And now onto our global stories. Victims of last week's Kumamoto earthquakes are suffering from increased health complications as they await the construction of temporary houses in Japan. About 120,000 victims are now living in shelters, many of which are without basic amenities such as water or electricity. The difficult living conditions in these centers is leading to a rise in the number of patients falling ill. A total of 11 people have died from illnesses believed to be related to the physical demands caused by evacuation following the earthquakes. Economy class syndrome is one such condition which has hit over 20 people and resulted in 3 deaths. Hiromichi Masuda, a doctor from the Japanese Red Cross, explained that if people sleep in vehicles, their blood circulation would be slowed and blood would stay in the veins of the legs and then flow into lungs fast, thus leading to blood clots, dyspnea, and even the risk of death. In a shelter at Mashiki town, some 1,200 victims are residing at a site which is monitored by just 20 staff members. This has led to sanitation problems such as inadequate toilet cleaning and garbage handling. With the building of temporary houses not set to be completed within the foreseeable future, some victims may have to prepare for a prolonged period living in the shelters. Federal agents have seized almost a ton of cocaine and 6 tons of marijuana smuggled through a newly discovered tunnel stretching a half-mile beneath the Mexico-California border. 6 people were arrested when authorities discovered the tunnel, the 13th underground drug trafficking burrow to be exposed along California's border with Mexico since 2006. The 870-yard-long tunnel, the longest found to date, also yielded an unprecedented cache of drugs. This tunnel, like most of the others, bisected an industrial expanse between the Otay Mesa port of entry and the California Highway Patrol's border facility. The area is known for its considerably stable clay soil and is primarily traversed by trucks hauling tons of legitimate cargo between the two countries every day. The latest tunnel, excavated 46 feet beneath the surface, ran from the bottom of an elevator shaft built into a house in Tijuana to a hole in the ground on the U.S. side, enclosed within a fenced-in lot set up as a pallet business. Federal officials said the hole was concealed under a trailer-sized trash dumpster, that smugglers used to move the drugs off the lot. Federal agents followed a truck that carted the dumpster to a central San Diego spot about 25 miles north of the border and watched as the cargo was loaded onto a box truck, which drove away. The suspects were all jailed on various drug trafficking conspiracy charges. Tunisia expects to attract 5.5 million foreign tourists this year, about the same as last year, after increasing security at hotels and focusing on new markets to counter the fallout from militant attacks. Tourism Minister Salma Aloumi Rekik told Reuters she was urging European leaders to support Tunisia's young democracy by lifting warnings against travel to the North African state issued after a gunman attacked a Tunisian resort hotel last June. She said there were positive signs that airline bookings were beginning to recover, and Tunisia was hoping to lure additional travelers with new holiday tours, such as desert safaris and cosmetic medical tourism. The Tunisian government also expects the country to enter an open-sky aviation liberalization agreement with Europe by the end of 2016 or by January 2017 at the latest, which would help bring more travelers and tourists to Tunisia from next year. Last year, tourist arrivals fell to 5.5 million, the lowest level in decades, after several European tour companies and cruise operators suspended operations in the wake of the Sousse attack. Tourism revenues fell 35% to $1.5 billion. 38 tourists, mostly British, were killed by an Islamist gunman who opened fire at the hotel in Sousse 3 months after 21 tourists were killed by gunmen attacking the Bardo National Museum in the capital Tunis. The Islamic State militant group claimed both attacks. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook by typing in NNT, and have a look at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye with footage of Belgium's so-called Blue Forest, where wild bluebells are in bloom. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Hanut Saha. Have a great day. Sawadee ka.